Is it live? Oh, welcome in everybody to another episode of 410 Sports Talk. I'm James Haskell along with my co-host Glenn Martin. We're like 1,000 videos deep at this point, and I'm still asking, is it live?
Yep.
Like what? It is a Wednesday. We are here to discuss the revisionist history, of course, of week one, but also really to start to turn the page into week two. As you guys know, if you've been watching the show for a while, in season, we usually do 2 shows during the week, and then, of course, the reaction show. So this week is this moment is to kind of look at the team at large. Where do we go moving forward? What can be fixed? And otherwise, catch up guys up on news. In addition to that, later on in the week, Friday this week, we'll be having our preview show. So make sure to come hang with us. DK, thumbs up or thumbs down on the over-under results for week one? Do you have them? All right. Oh, no. Oh, never mind. He said thumbs down. Okay. We will have them by Friday. Fair? Is that okay with you, DK? Yes? Or by the end of the show. Whatever. No pressure. But the point is that those will be out by Friday at the latest. But, Glenn, I'm excited to talk football. And this is how I want to start the conversation. I have a question. Are you a bit surprised by some of the national media that is holding on? Like, they seem to be holding off judgment because it was week one. I thought we were going to get bashed even more. And we got our fair share of bashing, rightfully so. But I also felt like there were people that I was expecting to destroy us who just didn't seem to do so.
Yeah.
Were you surprised by that?
I was. I see what you mean. What's going on, Jake? J-Dog, appreciate you coming out. Glad you made it. King Blaze, appreciate you joining us. I was. But I think what they saw, Jimbo, is, first of all, it was the national televised game. So we can be more convinced that those national talking heads actually watched the game, which when it's a 1 o'clock game, I'm not so sure if all these national folks actually have the bandwidth to watch every single game. It seems unrealistic. So I think they go with general talking points, whereas Sunday night game, highly anticipated. I think they all watched. And so we got honest reactions from those guys. And I think the honest reaction, if you watch that game, is the Ravens looked like the better team that lost because of they don't have, like, if I was a fan of not of the Ravens, I would look at it as, damn, the better team lost because they weren't the more clutch team. Like the less talented team won because they were more clutch when it mattered most, and the Ravens kind of shriveled when it mattered most. And so I think that's what you're getting, is that's the kind of response you're getting. Like, wow, this is a really good Ravens team with a ton of really good players. But yet this is the narrative, and I see why it is. They lose the big games, and so I think that's a fair criticism of the Ravens right now. Until they change that, that history, then we're a team that's really good, but when it comes down to it in the fourth quarter of big games, we can't be trusted. Certainly with a lead, maybe as coming from behind guys, but not a team that has a lead. Can't be trusted.
Right. No, and the other thing too is I think that ultimately what people are realizing is whoever was going to win that game was the team that had the ball last.
I'm not so sure. We had the ball.
But I mean, ultimately, the Bills ended with it. They won the game. But if it would have been reversed and they were punting us the ball, what I'm saying is I feel like those that are talking heads nationally, some of their judgment is because it wasn't like the Bills were stopping us either. We both put up a 40-piece.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So ultimately, poor coaching, of course, and a lot of things to talk about. But yes, I was surprised at the soft landing that the Ravens got, if I'm being honest. Yeah. And this is my second question to you, Glenn, as we're, looking at this game, but also moving forward. I've never seen, and I could be wrong, maybe you have more than, maybe you have, and I'm not remembering it. I've never seen the outcry to have John fired this much. I'm quite shocked. I know there's an entire faction of the Ravens fans that want him gone and out. And at this point, I don't know whether to agree with them or not. I'm kind of on the fence, where traditionally I've been very much like, grass is not greener on the other side. Let's roll with what we got. I'm starting to teeter a little bit, but were you surprised by the seemingly unanimous outcry? Seemingly unanimous, not saying everybody, but to say John needs to be out?
I wasn't that surprised because, again, it was a national televised game. The last time we saw the Ravens, it was the same sentiment that most people thought the Ravens kind of gave that game away or at least shot themselves in the foot to some degree. And so anytime you see a team with 40-25 lead with 4 minutes left, I mean, it's like, it's pretty inexcusable to come out of that game with a loss. So I get why people are saying it. I see Charm City Don is obviously pissed off and wants John out of here. J-Dog says that the Harbaugh era has run its course. And it's starting to feel like that. I'm never a fan of the firing coach midseason. I think it's a terrible decision. I think it'll only lead to bad things happening. So I don't think that's the decision I would want them to make, even if they were to, have another one of these terrible losses in the future. I don't want them to get rid of John in the middle of the season. I think it sets up whoever's the interim, and it just makes for a mess. So I don't want that to happen. But I can see why fans are just freaking sick and tired of the same old horror movie being played on repeat, where we get a big lead against a team that should be a close game. We get a big lead only to watch it squandered away by conservative offensive play call, prevent defense on the other side of the ball, and just poor situational football, like horrible situational football. Like it's and the decision making, it seems like it's coming, like it's just so head scratching to take the ball out of Lamar Jackson's hands and when it mattered most, to take Derrick Henry off the field entirely. Again, when it matters the very most, to take your foot off the gas completely on the defensive side of the ball and just play so scared. Those all seem like decisions made by the head coach. And so I get the frustration. I don't think that there's going to be any in-season firings, and I don't hope there to be. But if we keep seeing, obviously, Jimbo, we can't see another one of these, or certainly can't see the season end at one of these without there being some firings, particularly of John.
Yeah, it's a wild thing for me to see, because I didn't see it coming. And I don't know if we'll ever get to the point. I don't know if we'll get to the point where we start talking names, but some of the names thrown out, I gotta be honest, get me a little excited. But way too early, right? Like at this point,
Jimbo, how do you, because here's the part I have trouble with. He's the same coach that got us to the 40-25 lead. It's the same coach that put us in that position. I just wish once we got there, he would run to the back and we'd let someone else take over for the fourth quarter.
People are saying that he's going against Lamar's wishes because it's Lamar and the players that get us there. And then coach puts the brakes on it when Lamar apparently has had some outcries to keep the foot on the gas. And
that's fair then.
Kevin Ostreicher is the one that reported about this. I saw this recently.
Did you see Lamar talk about the reason they didn't go for it on 4th and 3 was that he was cramping, and he said had he not been cramping, they would have gone for it. So in that scenario, Lamar is saying, no, it's not coach's fault. It's because I was cramping that I didn't go for it. When, as I just read before the show started, the last comment we got from a Bills fan on our reaction video was how thrilled he was to see Harbaugh sending out the punter, and how concerned he would have been had it been Lamar out there on 4th and 3. Mm-hmm. But Lamar's saying that's not fair to pin that on coach. That's on me. How do you respond? Like, what was your reaction to that?
Yeah. So part of it is
he covering for him? Like,
No. I think Lamar was cramping, and I have my own opinions on that. I know it was week 1.
He got absolutely lit up the play before. If you guys didn't see,
he got destroyed.
Dude, Ed Oliver. First of all, I don't know how that wasn't a freaking roughing. Like he drilled his ass like bad.
Yeah. The only thing I will never understand in sports where there's a lot of stops is that, to me, I feel like it doesn't take much to provide you with what you need to not cramp. That's my only thing, is like, if you got stops and time, and that's a whole different conversation. But if that's the out we're giving him, then I guess that's the out we're giving him. But there's been plenty of other situations where we have, where Lamar wasn't cramping, and we still have terrible statistics. So I'm interested to see. This is my last question about John. Are there actual internal conversations happening? That's what I want to know from you. Do you believe that Shoddy and DaCosta are having these conversations?
They have to be. And I want to believe so bad, but it keeps happening, Jimbo. Like, I want to believe it has. Like, how could it not be taking place? How could this not be a huge concern when you have the one defense? Who was it that somebody put it in the chat? All the fourth quarter blown lead. Like, it's not a one-off. It's not every once in a while. We are the the poster child for collapses in the fourth quarter. Like, it's the Ravens emblem. So they have to be having these conversations, but then it keeps happening. So then you go, well, then are you not like? So I don't know, Jimbo. Like, I hope they are, and I expect them to be. How could they not? When every social media you open up, they're talking about it. Like, this is the Ravens collapsing, and the saying of the only people that can beat the Ravens are the Ravens. Like, that's a very real thing you hear constantly. So how are they not having that conversation? Yeah. But I think the bigger question is like, what can they do? What can they just say? All right, we no longer have a different strategy for when we have a lead. We have one strategy, and that is to beat that team. This is our defensive strategy to stop that team from scoring. This is our offensive strategy to score points on their defense. Like, it seems like when we get to situational, that's when we just shit the bed. And almost every situational scenario, we have not performed well with a lead, I should say. And so I don't. Something's got to change. But
and the thing is that if the reporting is right, Lamar Jackson is not a fan of this. If the reporting is right, Lamar Jackson is a fan of this, and we know how this goes, right? The player wins in these situations. Yeah. I mean, I guess you could say Belichick sort of won when Brady ended up being out, but he lost.
If he could do that again, if he could do that again,
right? Exactly. You know, you're 100% right.
Kraft would have gotten rid of Belichick
in a minute, in less than a minute. So anyway, I agree with you that I think conversations are being had. As patient as the Ravens have been and are, conversations are being had because a guy I saw talking about it, just brought the point that like, yeah, we've had good people in positions, but we go get better ones. Like, we shouldn't let the fact that John's good keep us from getting a potentially better one. So anyway, the other thing I want to talk about here, I'm kind of dictating these. If you got anything else, of course, jump in, but we got to talk about people who have been talking about in the chat. The O-line, first of all, shout out to Voorhees, who looked the part.
Yeah.
Right. He looked the part. So shout out to him. No bad. Look, nobody's perfect, but I don't have bad things today to say about Voorhees, and I hope that he stays healthy.
I like that from you, Jimbo, because you weren't hoping he would be the starter. So I like hearing that.
Well, look, absolutely. I mean, look, I want my Ravens to win.
That's right.
I don't care.
You'd rather be wrong and they win.
100%. I'd rather lose every single fantasy league I'm in. I'm in one with my family, but I don't care. I just want the Ravens to win. I don't care what the stats look like, who scores, whatever. So I'm happy to see Voorhees doing well and seeming to make a leap in year 2 for him. I guess this is year 3, right? Didn't he miss his first year?
Did he?
No. He got drafted late because he got hurt at the combine.
Oh,
so this is year 3.
Yeah, year 3.
It feels like year 2, right? Like, because this is, he kind of redshirted his first year. Anyway, my point is that it's nice to see him take a step forward. We hope he can stay healthy. My thoughts are now it's very clear that Ben Cleveland is a better right guard than Falele. There's no way that he's not. If Ben Cleveland is not, how has he been playing football his whole life and gotten this far and not been better than that? So, what's the deal here, Glenn? Are we finally going to see him? Ever?
Jimbo, this is the play where Lamar Jackson scrambled for 13 yards. Guys, I mean, this is just one play. Watch Falele on this play. Watch number 77 here if you guys can see it. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit here.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you want to make full screen, down the bottom right, you can make a full screen.
Okay. All right. I'll do that. Let me see here. Okay. Here we go.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. Is that better?
Perfect. Yeah, much.
Okay. Watch Falele here, guys.
All right, here we go. Oh,
guys, I paused it. His back is turned.
He's facing Lamar.
Who is he blocking on this play, guys? Look at him. Look at him. Look at him.
So he's missed 2 guys so far. He's in the middle of nowhere. So he got turned around, missed it, tried to tackle Linderbaum, didn't touch. Oh, got a left hand on one guy, got a finger on another.
I mean,
I had so much faith in this guy.
This was a crucial play, Jimbo. This was like, if he doesn't convert here, again, we're screwed. And
this is what I get for thinking that every guy from down under can be Jordan Mailata.
Or that every 6'8", 380-pound guy is powerful.
Yeah. What an embarrassment.
Like it's just he
has no idea what he's doing.
Low. No,
he doesn't even know what he's doing, Glenn. That's the problem. He looks schematically so lost.
Dude, why would you ever turn your back?
I understand, like, people are saying he looks soft, but the biggest problem to me, he looks lost. He doesn't know his a-hole from his elbow.
Really? He doesn't? He looks lost. Yeah. He looks
so
clueless.
Lost, because think about it. If he just wasn't lost, Glenn, and he's that big and he could just stand in front of another human.
That's it. And reach your arms out.
Like, have you seen Ndamukong Suh on Bussin' with the Boys explain how easy it would have been for him to play offensive line?
Because
he's like, I could have converted to offensive line and just, when the whistle blows, just hold some guys. Now, that's a bit, like, obviously reductionist, but the point is, like, Faalele, you can do that. Like, you can stand in front of other human beings. You're so large.
Yep. Just the time it takes them to run around him.
Right.
Would be plenty enough time for Lamar to do what he's got to do. But yeah, he's just, and then like Kwame in the chat says, if you're lost, at least just go tear someone's head off. Say you are lost and you don't know where to go. Hit the closest guy to you and make it impactful. But instead, he just spins around in circles. Like, there's no way, like, is it Kami in the chat? There's no way Cleveland could be worse. How could it be worse?
No,
it cannot be worse. And it's just, we put up with it all last year. And I think, Jimbo, we're going to have to do it again this year.
You think they're going to continue to put him out there?
Dude, I don't know what you want to call this, stubbornness or a hatred for Ben Cleveland. It's either one of those two. There's really no explanation as to why you wouldn't at least give him like, he didn't even compete at right guard all through camp. He had no competition. Nobody was even there pushing him like Voorhees had. Like, just gave him the job. Just, here you go. It's your job, even though we have these low lows. And we saw it even in preseason, him going up against backups, having horrible reps. It's crazy, man. It really is absolutely nuts. Yeah, like DK says, Faalele must have some sort of nude photos of John Harbaugh, some sort of blackmail. He's got to have something. It's crazy. Like, he's so bad. How are you that bad in that big of a moment? Like, that wasn't a inconsequential moment. That was a huge moment in the game, and you're just horrible. And then people were pinning on, if you remember in the post-game show, they were like, that was on Rosengarten. And I kept saying, I don't know how Rosengarten is supposed to get across his face.
Yeah.
Like, without some sort of a punch, right. Faalele decides to go to the next level. And sure enough, when the film comes out, they're like, no, he definitely should not have just left that. Like, there was no way for Rosengarten to get over there that fast because he wasn't lined up in front of him. So that was one example of many bad plays from Faalele. That's just not just one bad play and the rest was shining, film. No, he was terrible. He was absolutely terrible. And the only time he's not terrible is when he does what Jimmy says. He just is big. He's just big as shit. And he stands in front of the guy and it's hard to get around him. But there's no times where he's like, wow, look at him blow that guy off the ball, or look at him pancake that guy and then get to the next level and shield that guy. We never see that shit from this guy. Ever.
And we're not saying that Cleveland is going to do all of that, right? Like, certainly Cleveland has his bad, but man, it can't get worse.
Cannot.
That's my thing. It's like, dude, it can't get worse. At some point, how much worse can it get? Like, just ask Cleveland if he understands his assignments. And if he understands his assignments, I could go out there and just understand the assignments. No, obviously I couldn't. Like, it would be
no, bad. But I think you would make less mental error. Like, the mental errors.
I would just trip. People
just trip everybody. Yeah.
Flag every single time. But like, I mean, but to your point, like, dude, you got to know what you're doing. Who's next? You're a professional. Yep. You have nothing else of like that. Anyway, nothing else in your life. My point is, like, everything rides on this, dude. Just get it right.
Yeah. It's got to be. I don't think he can get it right, Jimbo. He is who he is. This is who Faalele is. I think the coaches need to stop thinking that they're going to turn him into something he's not, which is like this tenacious, angry, run defending. He's not that guy, guys. Yeah. He looks like he could be that guy, but he will never be that guy. And I just hope that, let's see, Surf City is right and that Ben will get the start sooner than later. What's going on, Tanja? Appreciate you joining us. And that kind of takes me, look, this is going to sound like there's a lot of frustration, I think, coming out in this, but we still are here for our Ravens. We're still here. We're still going to be here every game.
Yes.
But we gotta continue to call out some of the things that we saw over the weekend. And I think Jair is where I want to go next, Jimbo.
Let's do it.
Jair Alexander gets a bit of a pass, like somebody said in the chat, because of the fact that he hasn't played a lot, the fact that he's a newcomer to the team, he's learning a new defense. He gets a bit of a pass. But the same things that I just gave him a pass for, Awuzie somehow was immune to those. He also dealing with tons of injuries as of late. Last couple of years, I mean, he's had season-ending injuries. This guy's new to this team. It's a new defense. He looks so much better than Jair Alexander, who, if you go by their name, everybody and their brother nationally would tell you that Jair's the way better player, has the way better resume, but he didn't look better in purple. Jair was routinely targeted, and he gave up, I believe it was 100 yards receiving, and on top of that had a massive pass interference penalty to boot. So what's your, are you willing to give him a pass because of his lack of playing time the last 3 seasons and the fact that he is on a new defense? Are you wait and see still on Jair, or are you a bit concerned?
You know who he looked like to me out there? He looked like, who's a dude we had last year? Was it Tre'Davious White?
Yeah.
He looked a little bit like that, in that you could tell Tre'Davious was just okay in the red zone, but in the open field, there was something missing. So I guess right now I'm still, because of injuries is what I'm referencing, right? Like Tre'Davious had gone through something. So I'm still waiting to see. But man, I was so excited to watch Awuzie's pop. He was one of the few guys I felt like he was playing with aggression, playing with physicality. He wasn't hesitating. He's playing good football. Now, we got rung up for 41, so it's hard to say anybody's playing great football, but he almost had interception, man, and that interception was arguable in my opinion. All that being said, I'm still wait and see. I'm a patient guy. Let's hope for the best, right? His first game back and first game in a new system. We'll see how it goes. Where are you at?
Well, I mean, look, I think I have a bigger problem with, I'm okay with if he has some struggles in his early time here, and I expect him to get better. But like somebody mentioned in the chat, he hasn't practiced very much at all, and yet even with all that lack of practice, he was still out there a ton when it mattered most. And maybe that's because we didn't have a ton of other options due to game day actives, and the fact that obviously they're in a passing only situation, so we had to load the field with DBs, but it seemed like he was out there an awful lot for a guy who's not practiced a lot and is obviously dealing with some sort of nagging injury. So I question a little bit of how much we asked of Jair, but at the same time, I mean, his name brings a lot of cachet, and so it also brings a lot of expectations. And so if you're going to have, and I don't know if that's fair to him that it has that expectations because of his name,
right?
But it is what it is. And so if you're going to bring that guy in with the idea of, I mean, I heard Chuck Pagano saying this is the most talented secondary he's ever seen. How old is Chuck Pagano? How long has he been around football?
Oh my gosh, right.
And we get a 41 piece where Josh Allen throws for the 4th most passing yards in the history of a 4th quarter. You can't be the best, most talented secondary of anything when you do what they did on Sunday night. So yeah, high expectations, and he let us down. He certainly did. I'm hopeful, and maybe it is because of his name that I'm going to give him a little bit more time. But man, I will say this: I'm glad we didn't invest a long-term boatload of money into this guy. I will say that.
Yeah, no kidding. Oh man. All right. So this is my question as well here, Glenn, is defensively. Is what is going wrong right now fixable in your mind? I think we can sit here and identify the issues. I think we could talk about the pass rush. That to me, outside of anything, to me, the pass rush was kind of the catalyst for all, all that lent itself to the other things happening. I don't blame a 41 piece on the secondary in today's NFL, where it's just, especially playing against a guy like Josh Allen, where he's, there's so many broken plays and ad lib stuff, makes it so difficult. But that's what your pass rush is for. And of course, you could, I'm sure, identify some other problems, but is it fixable, man, with the guys we got?
Man, the pass rush, like you mentioned, man, that was bad, dude. Not only was it bad that they didn't get to him or they didn't sack him, but so many times a guy like Kyle Van Noy allows Josh Allen to break containment on a play where he needs to buy time. He's trying to get chunk plays down the field, and you just let him get outside of the pocket. Like, it was just such bonehead things. And so I do think it's fixable because I think we have the talent. Like, the way I would think it's not fixable is if we just don't have the horses, like that. I'd be like, but I do feel like we have the talent. But man, is it? It better not take till damn week 12 like it did last year to get it remedied, to get it fixed. I mean, I know Zach Orr and the players are all saying the right things, that if you're not going to do it right, you're going to be off the field, and all these expectations. Man, that shit don't mean nothing to me until I see it. That don't mean a damn bit of anything until I see it. And so I do think it's fixable because the talent is there. It hasn't been like a rash of injuries where I go, I don't know how we're going to, like when we had corners, we were picking off the scrap heap. That's like, I don't know if it's fixable because I don't even know who's starting next weekend. I think it's fixable. But the more worrisome part was, I think you're right, was the pass rush more even than the secondary. Because pass rush was completely non-existent. Kyle Van Noy looked like an old man. It's scary that Mike Green looked like our best, and he didn't even get that many snaps.
Yeah,
and he shouldn't look like our best.
Yeah.
Now our D tackles looked good, but Matabike is not practicing today. So how's that going to look moving forward? So yeah, I think it's fixable, but it better not take all freaking year to fix.
Yeah, well, I got one word for you, Glenn.
Oh no,
Clowney. Not saying he's Superman, not saying he's going to fix our problems, but I think we need somebody from the outside. I think what we have might not be enough.
Well, what if I saw today he was visiting the Cowboys?
I guess if they're the highest bidder, Clowney has a history going to the highest bidder.
Went to Carolina last year.
Right, because they're a highest bidder.
So I think he might be a Cowboy here soon.
Ugh. So, but if not Clowney, the hope that I have, I have no hope for anyone but Mike Green and Kyle Van Noy. But the hope that I have is that I think Kyle Van Noy will get his, and I hope that Mike Green will get noticeably better as the season goes on. Odafe Owe is who we think he is, and the other guys, Tre'Davious Robinson, who knows? He's still developing as a player, right? So, but
who's that? Oh, Tavius, you mean?
Sorry, Tavious Robinson. But if Ajabo, I'm not even worth putting on this list. He's going to be looking for a job. After this season, that wasn't forced. But the point is really, my hope is that Mike Green continues to get better. Because if he can get better, that's the way I see it being serviceable. I don't know if it's fixable, serviceable, to lend itself to the secondary shining more, right? Like, I'm not ready to, cut off my nose to spite my face here. I think our defense can be really, really good because of the secondary, but they need help, man. They need help up front. And I think if Mike can lead the pack, I think that raises the tide a little bit for that entire room and then the defense. But
is that too much pressure to put on a rookie, though? Yeah.
Yeah, a rookie who, man, I mean, it's hard to say, like, if you're not a Terrell Suggs, Micah Parsons, whoever else, right?
Yeah. It'd been nice to trade for that guy. Oof.
I know. My goodness. Give him whatever he wants at this point.
Yeah, that was not what we were expecting to see from the secondary or the pass rush. But Jimbo, the decision before the game left a lot of people scratching their heads. Was the surprise inactive listing of Keaton Mitchell. And surprisingly, Rasheen Ali got the nod instead of him. John Harbaugh was asked about that, and I found his comments to be quite interesting. He basically, and I'm paraphrasing, but said, well, it's a numbers game. And how often are we going to be able to get Keaton on the field on offense? And when he does come on the field, the 4 or 5 times he may, defenses are going to be keying on him. They're going to say, oh, wow, Keaton Mitchell's on the field. I wonder why that is. And that their assumption will be that he's going to get the ball, and therefore they will key in on that. And he went on to say that Rasheen Ali also is more effective on special teams, said that Keaton Mitchell will tell you himself that he needs to continue to work on that to get better at that. But the reason I was concerned is that if that's the case, Jimbo, if that is the case that he thinks all DCs, when they see Keaton Mitchell active and see him come on the field, that, well, it's then to just be obvious that we'll give him the ball. Well, then by that logic, can we ever make Keaton Mitchell active this season? Or by that, can't that same logic be applied to every coach, every defensive coordinator we're playing? And that, are we just never going to see him active this year? Or is his only avenue to being activated is if he passes Rasheen Ali as a special teams performer? And it doesn't really matter what he does on offense because, well, we can't activate him because as soon as we put him in the game, teams are going to know we're going to give him the ball.
It's a weird one. It's a really weird one, right? Because if all that is true, like legitimately, why keep 4 running backs? He should be the odd one out.
Like,
if all that's true.
Just for an injury? That's it?
You know what I mean? Like, exactly. I don't know what's going on there either because people want to see Keaton, and I think people are more than happy for Justice Hill to take less snaps. I think part of it is that Monken loves Justice Hill. No knock on Justice. We love ourselves with Justice Hill too, and he's an incredible player on third down. He is great in space, great. You know, he picks up the schemes, and he's a great blocker and things like that. But I want to see Keaton out there. I'm not saying don't give the ball to Derek, but goodness gracious, you know, we could do some stuff with Keaton that we can do with Justice. I don't know. I don't know where else he gets the ball.
He just seems like the perfect third guy to compliment him. Lightning in a bottle where any one of those 4 or 5 touches could be an 80-yard touchdown seems perfect. He doesn't need a bulk load of carries. He only needs 1 or 2, and he can turn it into something great. And yet, we can't put him out there because the defense will key on him. That was a head-scratching answer to that question, Jimbo. And I'm a John guy. But what the hell? Like, that answer was insane to me. Like, even if that is the case, even if you believe that when I put him on the field, DCs are going to key on, then freaking use that to your advantage.
Yeah.
How about a play action? How about how about we fake it to Keaton and throw it over their head? Because they're so focused on Keaton. That's all they'll do is they'll cover Keaton. Okay. Right. Lob it over his head. Like, I don't understand that was one of the most head scratching things. Well, we can't put him on the field because they'll just key in on him. Okay. All right. Well, do they key on Derrick Henry? I guess we shouldn't put him on the fucking field. Should we? Oh, DeAndre Hopkins only got in for a handful of play. Let's not put him in there because when he's in there, they might put their number 1 corner on. They might double him. They might key on him. It was the silliest comment I've ever heard, Jimbo. It made absolutely no sense. Oh, it pisses me off. God.
Yeah.
It's just a silly comment to say, bro.
Yeah, it's a weird thing. John seems to be having he has his players, man. Has his players. I understand we're all human. We'll have our biases and preferences and things like that as far as what we like in a player and, you know, characteristics, story, effort, all those things. But yeah, I don't know what we're going to do here with Keaton. It's interesting to see. Who will we see first, Keaton or Ben Cleveland?
Oh, man. I think
Probably
we'll see Keaton. I think we'll see Keaton first. He hates Ben Cleveland. Hates him. Like, I'd rather see Corey Bullock out there getting reps at right guard at this point. He was fantastic in all preseason and training camp. Why not give this guy a shot? Like,
yeah. What's the name of our rookie? Where's he at?
Oh, Emery?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's still nursing the shoulder.
Oh, man. Yeah. Well, look, it isn't all doom gloom, right? Like you kind of said, Glenn, we love our Ravens. We're right with our Ravens. They're 0-1 at the end of the day. And there's, to my opinion, I think still a top 3 to 5 football team in the NFL. I think they showed that at the very least. So there's definitely some positive to be shared out there. And I'm looking forward to seeing what we can do moving forward. You know, we talked about the offense. We've talked about, are there any other specific points you want to bring up? I want to spend some time talking a little about the AFC North as a whole, but I know there's some other stuff you want to talk about.
I got to get your take on this. I don't understand. I don't understand some of the sentiment coming out of Cleveland about this upcoming game. And we're going to dig into obviously the matchup between the Browns and the Ravens. We certainly will. But before we do that, I wanted to talk about some of the other stuff that's going on. There is the 30th anniversary of the Ravens franchise coming up on the regular season home opener this Sunday against the Joe Flacco-led Cleveland Browns. But the thing that I can't help, but notice is the frustration coming out. Did they delete this tweet? No way.
What tweet?
I'm trying to find. Okay, here we go. I have the tweet here. All right. So some of the sentiment coming out of, oh no, did it just, okay, it's working. Coming out of Cleveland about this 30th anniversary celebration. They're not happy about this in Cleveland, Jimbo. They are greatly offended by the Ravens. They say, how dare you celebrate your 30th anniversary on a game, on a week in which we're going to be there. They say it's not right. It says we're a bunch of let me put this up here, Jimbo. This is what they're saying about us. They're saying these clowns, they're calling us clowns, Jimbo. What a bunch of clowns the Ravens are. It's a giant middle finger to all of you. Classless. For the Ravens holding their 30th anniversary, week 1. By the way, Jimbo, do the Ravens pick when the 30th anniversary happens?
No.
No. So they don't get to choose when it happens. Okay. So 30 years happens whether they want it to happen or not. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think the Ravens are rude or mean for having this?
Oh, sorry. I answered a little prematurely, but no, of course not. And it also wasn't intentional. I mean, look, the 30th anniversary was upcoming 30 years ago. This is planned a year ago before the schedule came out. We're not going to change it because the Browns are in their feelings. Get over it. It was 30 years ago. Like, what are we doing? What was happening 30 years ago? No, this is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. And this is what losing franchises do.
Yep. And look at this, Jimbo. Joe Flacco was asked about it. And he said, listen, what are you saying over there? They do these things.
Yeah, who's they? Is that the Ravens?
What do you mean? 30 years?
I think he meant the league at large. Two? I think Joe meant the league at large. Like,
what does he mean? You can take it however you want.
And yeah, you can take it however you want. Well, I mean,
what was he going to do? What should they have waited till week 2? Like, I mean, game 2 at home, week 3? Like, I don't understand what they're suggesting. And by the way, Cleveland, you kept your stinking ass name. Nobody wanted that trash ass name, the Browns. You kept all your short list of records. Believe me, it would only been a quick post-it tear to take all your records with us, and we left them trashy ass records there in Cleveland. It's so ridiculous when they try and compare what happened to the Baltimore Colts when they took the name, the records, the likeness, everything. They took everything from us, and then we were dark here for decades. That doesn't even compare. Like, it's so silly that they're so. That's our Super Bowl. Oh, get over it. Nobody wanted your stupid ass logo. We could have crumbled up your entire history of record books in one freaking. Here, you know what? See, this is their entire record book right here, Jimbo. One freaking post-it. They've accomplished nothing in their entire freaking franchise's history, and they have the balls to call us out. Oh my god, he's fucking fired up, ridiculous. Jimbo. It's too late for me getting this fired up.
Seriously, but yeah, it's just dumb. It's petty. It's childish. Get over all of it. Like, you have nothing else to complain about because you're already out of contention.
It's crazy.
You're so bad. It's
absolutely ridiculous, man.
This is what you're worried about. My gosh.
Unbelievable.
Let's see. Adit Mahmood says, at least we didn't take their records. Yeah.
Yeah, their records. That long list of records that they have. Like, my dad still gets sick when he sees the horseshoe on the helmet. He considers it the most iconic. I mean, you know, it's BS what they did, but we left them all that crap. That garbage. Now nobody wanted that stupid ass name and that horrible helmet logo. But still, you know, we left it anyway. Get over yourselves, Cleveland.
Yeah. Focus on something else like winning. Yeah. Tone says, didn't Monken mention using more 2 running back formations? We can clearly find a way to use Keaton. Frustrating to hear from John. Yeah, that's a good point. And plus, Monken is, you know, being touted as extremely creative, which I'm not arguing against, but I was not on this camp, Glenn. And this is not to talk negatively of Lamar, but I feel like good in football more than any other. sport, coaches really, really matter because game plan, game calling, all that. It's so unique to football in comparison to other sports. But Lamar Jackson would survive on a football team where a 5-year-old was calling the plays and picking the same play every single play. Lamar would just figure it out. Like, I wholeheartedly believe that. Look how good he makes the O-line look. Look how good he makes wide receivers look. Look how good he makes running back. Derrick Henry looks the best he's ever looked in his career. He's 31 years old, and that's not because he spends money on his body and he works out. It's because of Lamar Jackson, right? Like, there's also a point to where Lamar Jackson is making Monken look good. Well, he's getting Monken paid. He's elongating John's career. So, well,
I don't think this is a Monken thing.
No, but I'm kind of frustrated because now Tone is, to his point, Monken has said this. Do it, Monk. You're so creative. Everybody's giving you all this credit, saying all these great things about you. Let's do it. Let's see it.
I mean, look, if Keaton's not active, he can't put him. He can't.
Sure, right? He's got to get active first. Absolutely.
They got to find a way, man. Because look, I think Monken is a good match for Lamar in a lot of ways. Like,
I agree.
A 94 QBR, which, by the way, the only person with a 92 or above QBR in the last since 2020, I think it was, to lose was Lamar last time. He had 94 QBR and he lost. Like, they're playing really well together, but they're not doing very well when it comes to closing games out. The decision to, obviously, that Zay jet sweep. Oh my gosh. Let's run to the sideline. I get the whole thought. They're thinking, they're going to load the box, knowing we're not going to run to the edges because they don't want to get pushed out of it. That doesn't always mean you just do what you like. They're going to expect us to go up the middle, so we're going to run to the edge. Zay, don't go out of bounds, even if you have to fall on your tuchus. So what does he do? He falls right on his tuchus, loses yards, puts us in a 3rd and long, and here we are. Oh my gosh, Jimbo.
Yeah,
it's making me crazy.
I know
they're making me absolutely lose my freaking mind here.
I know we've got to be patient and wait till the postseason and hope we get through healthy. And playing well. But Glenn, if it's all right with you, I do want to take a step back real quick to kind of wrap this thing up and talk about the AFC North.
Yes.
So the AFC North, let me pull this up real quick. Of course, we know the Baltimore Ravens are 0-1. We know the Cleveland Browns also 0-1. Cincinnati Bengals 1-0. Steelers 1-0. Where are you as far? And obviously, we know the Ravens and the Ravens play the Browns next, and then the Steelers. Why am I not remembering who they play next? Week 2. Let's see. They play they're at home against the Seahawks, and the Bengals. Week 2 play the Jacksonville Jaguars. So I guess part of my question is, any concern that we're gonna fall? I kind of laugh when I say this. Any concern that we're gonna fall behind in the division?
Yeah. I mean, maybe not necessarily in this week, but when you talk about the 5 games or the 4 games following that, where we play division winners and 4 teams that all finish in the top 8, yeah, absolutely. There's concern. You don't want to dig too big of a hole, even if you do think that the Ravens can beat those teams head to head. It doesn't matter much if they already have a massive lead in the win-loss column. So I absolutely have concerns. I think both the Steelers and the Bengals narrowly escaped being defeated the first week. Which would have put them, equal with us. But that's kind of what we're talking about. Like, we always find ways to lose those games. And if our competitors are finding ways to win those games, then that's certainly not good for the Ravens. So I am concerned. I do think that the Ravens are the best team still in the AFC North. I'm not fooled by the hype that's surrounding Aaron Rodgers beating the stinking ass Jets. They are the Jets, and it took everything they had to beat the Jets, and the Jets are still the Jets. They suck. They stink. The organization stinks from the top down, and so beating them isn't going to convince me that you're some great team. Same with the same exact sentiments can be said about the Bengals beating the Browns. Literally the same thing. The Browns stink. The best thing about them is their quarterback, and he's old. So I do think the Ravens are still the best team, but does not necessarily matter to who wins the division. Doesn't really matter, because those other 2 teams have easier schedules. And if they play better, even if we beat them in head-to-head matchups, they could still win the division. So cannot continue to lose games, cannot dig a hole for themselves, because like the Bengals are good. The one thing I'll say about the Bengals that has me a bit concerned is their defense looked better than I thought. Now they were playing the Browns, who are very talent deficient, but I thought their defense was going to really stink out loud, and they looked a little bit better than I thought. Now, conversely, the Steelers' defense looked worse than I thought it would look. I thought they would have an easier time shutting down the Jets, but Justin Fields proved that he is still a force to be reckoned with his arm and leg talent. So, yeah, I'm a bit concerned, but I don't think we're worse team than either one of those.
Yeah, I agree. So to sum my answer up, I'm not concerned because I don't think – I mean, I watched the Steelers. They looked extremely unimpressive to me. Great, they got to win against the Jets. Who are the Jets? Like, who cares? Also, the Bengals battled it out with the Browns, who I think we're going to blow the doors off of by the middle of the third quarter. What's about you? Yeah, so I'm and they won in a fashion that, like, you would think it has to be 38-35. They won, what, 17-16? Wasn't it the final score?
Yep, exactly.
So putting up big points. What are we doing here? The Bengals have no chance. So I'm happy about the North. Now, obviously we don't want to go in here and lose this game coming up, but I'm not concerned at this point. The last thing I want to mention here, Glenn, is one of the things we're going to do is the over-under winner DK has, we're going to post it on Instagram. So make sure you go check it out on Instagram. I think that will,
we can mention it again too in Friday's show, and
we'll mention it on Friday as well, but it'll be posted on Instagram and then we'll announce it on Friday as well. In case you're not on Instagram, I'm not on Instagram, so I totally get it. We'll do both, but it will be posted on Instagram in the near future. Right, DK? Right now. He's posting it right now. So go check it out. Of course, for your opportunity to get some swag, and then we'll talk about it on Friday as well. But Glenn, I think that's it for us tonight.
Yep.
I'm looking forward to Friday. Week 2 is upon us. Divisional matchup, big game because of that. So make sure you guys tune in. We'll be back talking more Ravens, talking injuries and everything else, getting you prepared for the game. But that's it for us tonight. We'll talk to you guys soon.
See you.